A fierce blizzard engulfs Philadelphia, blanketing streets as Ellen Greenberg heads home early from work. Ellen, a dedicated first-grade teacher, plans a quiet evening in her cozy Mannion apartment alone. Her Sam Goldberg leaves for the gym, kissing Ellen goodbye at 4:45 p.m. sharp. The apartment's swing bar latch clicks shut, securing Ellen alone inside her safe, warm home. Ellen slices fruit in the kitchen, unaware of the tragedy about to unfold around her. Snow piles up outside, isolating the apartment building in a frozen, eerie, and quiet silence. Sam returns at 6:30 p.m., pounding on the door, unable to gain entry despite efforts. "Open the door, Ellen, I'm getting pissed," Sam texts, receiving no reply from her phone. Frustrated, Sam forces the door open, breaking the swing bar latch with a loud snap. He steps inside and finds Ellen on the kitchen floor, blood pooling around her body. A knife protrudes from Ellen's chest, her lifeless body slumped against cabinets in disarray. Sam dials 911, voice trembling, claiming Ellen stabbed herself and fell on the knife accidentally. Police arrive, observing no signs of forced entry or struggle in the orderly apartment space. Ellen's body bears 20 stab wounds, 10 to her head and neck, horrifying first responders. Initial police reports classify the scene as a suicide. Despite the gruesome and extensive injuries, Dr. Marlon Osborne, medical examiner, rules Ellen's death a homicide after a thorough autopsy review. Bruises on Ellen's arms, abdomen, and legs suggest abuse at varying stages of healing recently. Police challenged the homicide ruling the next day, labeling the death suspicious under pressure. Under pressure, Dr. Osborne amends the death certificate to declare it suicide, reversing his ruling. Ellen's parents, Josh and Sandy, reject the suicide ruling, devastated and determined to seek truth. They hire forensic experts, vowing to uncover the truth behind their daughter's mysterious death. Dr. Cyril Wecht, renowned pathologist, calls the case strongly suspicious of homicide after detailed analysis. Expert Wayne Ross notes wounds indicating severe pain and traumatic brain injury from the attack. A neck hemorrhage suggests possible strangulation before Ellen's fatal stab wounds were inflicted on her. A crime scene reconstructionist claims Ellen's body was moved after her death, raising serious doubts. The locked door mystery deepens. Was the swing bar latch truly secure from the outside? Apartment manager Melissa Ware says the latch doesn't prove Ellen was alone in the apartment. Surveillance footage shows Sam entering the elevator alone at 6:32 p.m. On that evening, Sam's claim of being locked out raises doubts. Was the door manipulated from the outside? CNN's phone record analysis contradicts Sam's relatives' claims about his 911 call timing accuracy. A security guard denies being with Sam when he forced the door open that night. Ellen's computer reveals searches for painless suicide, fueling speculation about her mental state recently. Her psychiatrist notes anxiety but no suicidal tendencies in recent appointments before her death. Friends describe Ellen as fun-loving, though recently nervous and on edge in social settings. Josh recalls Ellen wanting to move home, hinting at underlying stress or fear she felt. Ellen's parents notice her recent withdrawal, unusual for their vibrant, outgoing, and cheerful daughter. The Greenbergs file a lawsuit against the medical examiner's office in 2019, seeking justice. They demand the death certificate be changed to homicide, or undetermined, based on evidence. Photogrammetry reveals some stab wounds couldn't have been self-inflicted. Experts argue with confidence. Dr. Lindsay Emery finds post-mortem wounds, suggesting stabs occurred after Elon's heart stopped beating. In 2020, Philadelphia court allows the Greenbergs' lawsuit to proceed past dismissal with evidence. A petition with 167,000 signatures demands the case be reopened for a thorough investigation. Attorney Joe Pedraza alleges a cover-up by police and the examiner's office in handling. Former prosecutor Larry Krasner, now DA, recuses himself due to prior involvement in case. The Pennsylvania Attorney General's office takes over the case in 2022 to review evidence. Chester County detectives assume control to avoid local conflicts of interest in the investigation. In 2024, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court agrees to hear the Greenbergs' appeal for justice. Dr. Osborne, now in Florida, retracts his suicide ruling in February 2025, citing evidence. Osborne cites new evidence, questioning Sam's actions and the body's movement after her death. He insists Ellen's death should be classified as something other than suicide in records. The Greenbergs settle with Osborne, releasing him from their ongoing lawsuit against the office. Ellen's death certificate remains unchanged, as Osborne no longer has jurisdiction over the case. Captain Carl Fifferel, a first responder, says the knife didn't fit the scene's context. Fifferel questions how Ellen could have stabbed herself so many times with such force. Forensic scientist Henry Lee finds bloodstain patterns consistent with a homicide, not a suicide. Ellen's parents view crime scene photos, noticing makeup bags scattered unusually across the floor. Josh believes Ellen was preparing to leave, adding to the mystery's complex and troubling layers. No defensive wounds on Ellen's hands suggest she didn't fight an attacker during assault. The apartment, cleaned prematurely, loses critical forensic evidence before a full analysis was conducted. Police seized blood samples, clothing, and a diamond ring after the cleanup was completed. The Greenbergs hire retired detective Tom Brennan for an independent investigation into Elon's death. Brennan finds videos showing how swing bar locks can be manipulated externally with ease. Could an assailant have locked the door from outside, staging the scene as a suicide? Ellen's parents feel police rushed to a suicide conclusion without a thorough, unbiased investigation. The couple's planned August 2011 wedding adds heartbreak to the tragedy of Ellen's death. Ellen's students at Otter Park Academy remember her as a caring, inspiring, and dedicated teacher. Her Penn State degree reflects her passion for education and helping others in her community. The blizzard forced schools to close, sending Ellen home early on that fateful day. Sam's gym alibi is confirmed, but timeline gaps raise lingering questions about his absence. Neighbors report hearing Sam banging on the door, supporting his claim of being locked out. The Greenbergs file a second lawsuit in 2022 against the city and police for mishandling. Allegations of investigative mishandling fuel public distrust in the official narrative of Ellen's death. Dr. Lucy Rourke-Adams denies reviewing Ellen's brain tissue, despite earlier claims by the office. No billing or report from Rourke-Adams exists, casting doubt on the autopsy's thoroughness. The Greenbergs endure years of legal battles, driven by love for their daughter Ellen. Social media campaigns like Justice for Ellen amplify the case's visibility across online platforms. Reddit users debate, could Ellen have stabbed herself in the neck repeatedly with precision? Experts argue the physical contortions required make self-inflicted wounds highly implausible in this case. The knife's depth and angles point to an assailant, not a suicidal act by Ellen. Ellen's body, propped against cabinets, suggests possible staging or post-mortem movement by another person. Chester County's 2024 review finds insufficient evidence to prove a crime occurred in an apartment. The Greenbergs persist, certain the truth lies beyond the locked door of the mystery. Sam's frustrated texts raise questions. Do they hint at something more sinister than impatience? Ellen's anxiety medication and therapy sessions complicate the narrative of her mental state recently. Some wounds lacking blood suggest they were inflicted after Ellen's heart had stopped beating. The Greenbergs' fight becomes a symbol of challenging flawed official rulings in high-profile cases. Media like CNN and Nancy Grace keep Ellen's story in the spotlight for justice. The police's quick release of the scene remains a point of contention among experts. Theories swirl: was Elon's death a cover-up or a tragic error by the authorities? The Greenbergs' grief drives their relentless pursuit of justice for their beloved daughter Ellen. A haunting question lingers. Who was with Ellen in the apartment that tragic day? The mystery persists, unresolved despite years of investigation and scrutiny by experts and public. Ellen's parents vow to continue, seeking truth behind the locked door, mystery with determination. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court's ruling remains pending, holding hope for justice in Ellen's case. Ellen's legacy endures through her family's unwavering fight for answers and truth about her death. A former colleague recalls Ellen's kindness, puzzled by her sudden, tragic end in the apartment. Investigators revisit the knife's grip, finding no clear fingerprints linking it to Ellen's hand. Public forums buzz with theories, keeping Ellen's case alive in the collective memory of many.